What a tackle, and he's through on goal. He scores.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael Olajide. I am a FIFA licensed agent. So, during this video, we're going to be discussing the importance of being a versatile player. Because oftentimes when players come to me, they say, I'm a striker, I'm a fullback. Then you ask them, apart from being a striker, what else which other position can you play? Many of them say, no, I'm a striker. Then it's a very good thing for you to know your position where you play to be good. However, I'm telling you that being a one position player is becoming the thing of the past. In the modern day game, we've seen players have been able to switch, being versatile on the pitch of play. So, in the course of this video, we're going to be looking at the pros and cons of being one position player. And we're going to also look at modern day example and some of the things that you can do to be a versatile player or utility player on the field of play. So first, to start with, let us look at some of the disadvantage of being one position player. Let's say you are a coach and after you set up your team, everyone can only play one position. Then all of a sudden there is injury. What will happen? It means you can't switch. You just have to continue to play your tactics. The flexibility, your opportunity to switch is not there. And as a player, if you can only play one position, one of the disadvantages is that you have limited options. As a coach, you can't change your team. You only have to continue playing that way. And opposing team can easily figure you out. Okay, this is how they play. This is who is playing here. And that is it. So as a coach, you wouldn't want that to happen. So put yourself in the position of the coach as a player that can only play one position. It means your team cannot go far in every competition. And then another disadvantage is that you stand the risk of being a bench warmer. Because if all of a sudden there's a player that can play better than you in that one position, it means you stand the chance of staying on the bench. You spend longer time on the bench. So it's not good for a player to just be one position player. You need to learn how to play multiple positions on the field of play. Now, another thing is that you have less value. If a club is coming for you, because they know you can only play one position, they will only stick to look for, okay, this is the amount we can afford, this is what we can pay for you, because you can only play one position. So you see, your value will be low as a player. These are some of the disadvantages of being one as a position player or as a footballer. So it is not something that is advisable you to do. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be looking at advantages and disadvantages. So we just look at some of the disadvantages of being a single player. So let us go to the advantage of being a versatile player, to be able to play many positions on the field of play. Yep. First, it afforded the opportunity of more playing time. Let's say you can play across the back line. It means if you're not playing 2, you can play 3, you can come to 5 or 6. You can play anywhere across the back. So the possibility of you staying on the bench is less, is reduced compared to someone that can play only one position. If that position is not there, that is on the bench. But in your case, you can easily move from one position to the other, which means the coach can call upon you anytime. So you have opportunity to play more time compared to other players. That is number one thing. Another thing is that we mentioned earlier, these days when clubs are looking for players, they're looking for. They look for profile of players that can play multiple positions. So one player can solve many problems in a club. So where they are looking for such player, the value of that player will be very high. Why? Because they know he can solve many problems. It's not someone that's just going to be rigid playing one position. You can solve many problems. For example, if you can play across the front line from 11 to 7 to 9, they know they are getting someone that is coming in to in case there's a problem in any of the position across the front line. You can easily switch in and slot in and get the team going. So it is very important for you to be a versatile player, because your market value, transfer market value, is very high. Clubs are willing to pay more for such players. Now, let us look at another advantage of being a versatile player, is that tactically you will help the team. If, for instance, an opposing team will study your team, they know, okay, this is how they play. This is who is playing here. And let's say while they are practicing, they focus on you as being a 4. And all of a sudden, on the day of the match, on the match day, they see you playing 8. At that point, it will take them some time to adjust. And by the time, maybe you will have done more damage to the team before they eventually figure you out or how to handle you at that position you're playing. So you see why tactically you can easily. And also when it comes to formation, clubs are looking for players that can easily give them that flexibility. Take, for example, you are playing 4-4-2 and the 4-4-2 is not working in that match. They notice the opposing team is. Your coach can easily switch to 4-3-3. In that position, in that case, you can easily adapt because you are a player that can move from one position to the other, or you have many players in your team that can switch, and you give your coach flexibility to do that. But in a situation where everybody is playing one position, it's difficult. So you see the importance of being an utility player. So don't just stick to that. Try to switch to be flexible as a player. Now, another thing that is very important or very good for you when you are an utility player is the fact that you will likely have career longevity. You're likely to play longer than other players. Why? Let me say this. Let's say you are playing when you are very young, you are a winger, which means you can run, you're very pacey and very tricky. You can display all kinds of skill as a winger. You can run. But as you are aging, guess what will happen? The club can say, okay, let us move him to a fullback, because he can no longer run as he used to. They can move you to the fullback, and because you are flexible, you can easily adapt to that situation. And once in a while, you can go forward because you're used to being a winger. But because of your energy, in order for you to be able to conserve your energy, you can still come back and just collect the ball and pass it to the winger. So you see, you'll be able to play longer than those players that can only play one position. Imagine you are just a winger that can only play as a winger. And as you are aging, you don't have the pace anymore. You don't have the skill anymore. What will happen? Nothing. It means you easily fade out. So it is good for players to learn how to adapt, to be flexible, to be versatile, not one position. Now, I mentioned earlier that we're going to be looking at some of other players that have been able to do this successfully. One of such players is James Milner. For those of you that doesn't know, you can check him out, check his playing, and you will learn a lot from him. James Milner can basically play every position on the field. In fact, you will be wondering, what is his original position? If you ask him to play any place across the back line, he's there. Ask him to play as a winger, he's there. In fact, at some point, Jurgen Klopp, his former coach, said James Milner is like a fine wine. he's getting better and better every time because he's so reliable. You can call on him anytime and you can switch. You can ask him to move from there and come here. You can try to watch some of his clips. He's a very, very versatile player. Another player I'm going to be talking about is John Stone. John Stone, when he was at Everton, he was a centre back. Though he can play out as a centre back, but all he does is centre back, play the ball out, nod it out, and that was it. But when he moved to Manchester City, you see what Pep did? Because he's a versatile player and able to switch, now you hardly know where he's playing. He can play any place across the back line. And now he's playing as a midfielder. And he's even scoring goals because he's going forward and forward. That is what we are talking about. Ability to switch, to be able to play many positions on the field. So if you are planning against Manchester City, you don't know where John Stone is going to play. While you're planning to see him as a 4, you can see him at 6 or you can see him as 8 because he can go forward, he can play anywhere. So Pep is loving it. Is loving it because he can play anywhere on the field of play. So he's another good player to watch out for or to learn from. It gives that team balance. Now, let us look at the last player that I'll be talking about today. Is Ashley Young. If you know Ashley Young, when he was at Aston Villa, he was a pacey winger. Very fast, very skillful. But as time goes on, he realized that he can no longer keep up with that pace, that skill. And then what happened? When he moved to Manchester United, he was playing as a fullback. Because he has the experience, he's a very good player, adapted himself to that situation. Same thing when he moved to Inter Milan, he was able to do that successfully because he's a very versatile player. And the one good part about it is that he's having a long career because he's able to move to another position. He's not as fast as he used to be. He's not as skillful as he used to be. But now he's using that experience as a fullback to play. If you check most of the players that started with him when he was at Aston Villa, go and check how many of them are still playing. Maybe very few. Because many of them can only stick to one position. But as a very skillful player, someone that is very versatile on the field of play, he's still playing and he's still earning a lot of money. So you can see the importance of being a versatile player. So that being said, the question is, how can I become a versatile player or an utility player? Now, these are the things you can do. Number one is that don't just say today I want to try here, tomorrow I want to try there. No. Learn the basics. What do I mean? Is that you need to first start with some of the things that you can do to yourself. If you are a one-legged player, try to learn how to use your second leg. If you are a right leg player, for example, you can start to learn how to use your left. Learn how to dribble. Learn how to pass with that leg that you are not so used to. I'll give you an example. When Saka started playing as a forward, you remember, Saka started at Arsenal being a fullback. But after that, he was asked to play because he was very skillful and very good. He was very good, playing well. But Arsene Wenger told him something. He said, "How I wish you can use your right leg more." And what did Saka do as a young player? He switched, he adapted. These days, you don't know which leg he's going to use to shoot. Saka usually would put you in, then after cut back and use his left to play. But now, he can shoot with both legs. So you can't predict him. So as a young player, learn how to use your both legs. Learn how to dribble. If your left is not as strong as right, it mustn't be the same thing. But learn how to use it. At least if you're given a pass and it's coming towards your leg, you don't have to switch to right before you pass. So that is, you need to learn some of these basic things. Another thing that is very good for you is that study the game. Watch professional matches. Now, I have some of my players, young players that are aspiring to be pro. And did you watch UEFA Champions League semi-final? No. What were you doing? Nothing. So you want to become pro. It is your duty to watch some of these matches, because you are going to learn. And when you are watching, there's a big difference between watching as a fan and watching as a footballer. Especially when you are a young footballer, you need to learn how the players, you need to watch them, how they are doing. If you need to watch players that are in your position, how is he carrying the ball? What is his body language? If they are with the ball, how is his body language? What is his role? And if they are without the ball, you need to watch some of this. So watch game, not as a fan, but someone that is learning, someone that wants to learn. It's very good. It's very good if you do that, because you learn a lot. Another thing is that ask your coach. Coach, I would like to play this position. Please, what's your advice, or what can I do? Your coach will tell you more, will be able to help you on the things you should do to learn. A player came to me and said, and my coach was asking me to play, was playing me out of position. I don't like it, and I don't do this. And I told him, you should be grateful to that coach. He's planning you for the future. Don't be rigid. I'm two. I want to stay at my number 2 position. I don't want no. Learn, be adaptable. It's very good for your career. It's very good. Another thing is that understand the tactics. When your team is playing 4-4-2, or when the team is playing 4-4-2, what is your role as number 2 or as number 4? And when they switch to 4-3-3, what am I supposed to do? It's not on the day they call you, or today our 4 is injured, you're going to play as 4 and you're used to playing as 7. And you say, oh, what am I going to do? Learn. Now, another thing is that you need to stay fit. You need to stay fit. So there are some positions that your physicality, your fitness level has to be higher than others. If you're playing as a winger, 11 or 7, once you get the ball and you see space in front of you, it's your duty to cover the space, to utilize that space. Maybe the fullback there is already out of his position. You need to press, you need to run. So if you are not fit physically, it's going to tell on you. People are going to see that you are not good at that position. So if you are looking at possibility of change, if you want to change, learn the physicality of that position, learn the fitness level. You are not like maybe let's say a defender, for example, after getting the ball from the opposing team, he will pass it forward. That is it, and then he will relax and watch the ball is coming again. But not the same for a striker or a winger. Once you get the ball, you're looking forward. So you want to run, you want to take on the player one-on-one, you want to do so many things. Your physical level has to be your fitness level has to be very high. And another thing is that mentally, you need to be flexible. You can't be playing a 4 in your position and mentally you are 3. No. You need to learn how to switch your mind. Some days they will tell you, okay, you are playing as 6 today. You need to be able to switch. The last match I played as 4. And today I'm playing as 6 or 8. You should be able to switch. Don't be playing in 8 position with 4 mentality. It's going to affect. So mentally, you should be able to switch fast. So these are some of the things that will help you to be adaptable. Well, from my perspective as a FIFA licensed agent, see, being versatile or an utility player is no longer a bonus. Is becoming a necessity. clubs are looking for such players. They're looking for a player that is smart, adaptable, and all that. And if you are able to possess this quality, guess what? You'll be noticed fast or faster by scouts. They can easily notice you and be able to market you faster. That is one. And what does that mean when they are marketing you? It means you are likely to earn a professional contract faster than other of your teammates that can only play one position, that are very rigid. Then another thing is that you'll be able to play longer. Just like I mentioned in case of Ashley Young, you're able to play long. And most importantly is that you'll be able to help any team you play in. Because you are reliable, you are adaptable, you are flexible. They will be able to rely on you. So you will help your team a lot. So if you want to unlock your full potential as a footballer, you need to embrace new positions, learn new skills, and become that player that every coach is dreaming of having. Well, so far we've been able to cover a little about being an utility or a versatile player. So if you find this video very helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and teammates, and subscribe to the channel so that we can discuss more about other things that can help you to be a very good footballer. So until next time, my name is Michael, FIFA License Agent.